Should stage hypnotists use a stage name or their legal name? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. And thankfully, we have none other than the wizard himself, Mike Mandel.
Hello.
Who's performed thousands of stage shows and knows a lot of different stage hypnotists and can probably speak to us about this. So let's talk about stage names.
Okay, so a stage name is a name you're going to use professionally. If you have a strange name and you might want to change to a stage name, or if your name is too bland, you might want to go a little stranger with your stage name. But the bottom line is, hypnotists and magicians have used stage names forever. The amazing Kreskin just passed away a day or two ago. Sad that he's gone. He was just short of his 90th birthday. He was born George Kresge from a Polish Italian family. He didn't want to be associated with the dime store chain Kresge's, which became Kmart, so he changed his name to Kreskin, and that became his only name, a single name like Cher or Madonna or someone like that. And it worked for him. There was Phil Goldstein, an amazing mentalist. His stage name was Max Maven. So it's a very, very common thing. If your name is John Smith, you'll be really hard to find on Google.
Yeah, we had a member who mentioned this too. Like, he uses a stage name because he has a very, very common name. And if you were to Google search it, you're not going to find him. You're going to find a million other, Bob Whites or whatever the case is.
Right.
So use a stage name in that case. Basically, in short, it's a marketing thing, right? If you have a cool sounding name already, there's no need to change it. If you have a bland name, probably a good idea to use a stage name. And then you can benefit from the idea of alliteration, things like Mike Mandel, even though that's your legal name, that's a cool name.
It is.
It's got the alliteration
goes with mentalism,
power.
goes with magic.
Yeah, and we can also mention here your friend Paul Pacific.
Paul Pacific.
Again, born that way, legal name, very cool stage name. So that is his stage name because it's his actual name. It's such a great
name for a mentalist, Paul Pacific. Fantastic. He's very good at what he does. We look at our great friend Michael C. Anthony, and Michael C. Anthony, his legal name is Michael Anthony Caruso.
Right,
but
Anthony's his middle name.
It's his middle name, but he didn't want to go through any of these, the great Caruso, who was an opera singer. He didn't want that connection. I understand that. So he just moved Caruso to the middle and went Michael C. Anthony because he wanted to use it to get the website. And actually, Michael Anthony was already gone.
He wanted to call himself, he explained it this way, he wanted to call himself Michael Anthony or Michael C. Anthony, but he couldn't buy MichaelAnthony.com. It was taken. So he bought Michael C. Anthony, and actually sounds cooler. It sounds more specific, more unique. I almost said modifier on unique. Don't put modifiers on unique. So Michael C. Anthony. Yeah, that's really cool.
Now, there's another aspect of this too, Chris. You can add like a cool adjective to a name. So it was the amazing Kreskin for years.
Yes.
And so when I started out in 1975, my manager at the time named me Incredible Mike Mandel. That's my old posters.
Mike Mandel.
And of course, then some dick comes along and he's the Incredible. So I mean, had to take the exact same word, which is dickish to extreme, but we won't go there. But there's another aspect to this. If you have an unusual name, like I don't know, Dave Dostoevsky, it might not be a good name for the stage.
That's a Cialdini thing. In Robert Cialdini's book, Persuasion, he talks about names that are pronounceable being more trustworthy. So it has nothing to do with your actual trustworthiness as a person, but if other people can't say your name. So if you come from an Eastern European background and you have a Polish or Russian or something sort of name that most people in North America aren't going to be able to easily say or spell, then for your website and for your online presence and for your stage name, maybe it's a good idea to come up with a new one. Yeah.
And well, that's interesting because there's also been the question about the legal aspects of this. If agents want you to have a stage name,
they don't care about
They really
legal.
don't care. I had many, many dozens of agents. They couldn't care less. They just want to get gigs and make their percentage. And I'm not being nasty saying that. That's their job. They do their job based around that. But stage names are not legally required anywhere. And agents will prioritize bookability over stage names. Now, a good stage name is easy to remember, but stage names can improve your bookability if they're easy to remember. If you have a name that people, it's so-and-so, he was here. Yeah, it's way, way better. Although my experience with hypnosis shows is, even though Mike Mandel is very easy to remember, people still, we had a hypnotist. Here's our hypnotist tonight. The name is irrelevant when you're doing hypnosis.
And they still spell your name with two L's. Mandel.
Well, two L's. Or Mendel.
Mike Mandel.
I can't stand that one. The other one, somebody called me Vince Mansell. Vince, I mean, Okay. Anyway, so
But you know what? This actually, going beyond stage names, this does introduce another good angle for any hypnotist of any kind doing online work. If you forget about the idea of a stage name, but think of the presentation of your website, your domain.
Right,
What
right.
domain might you buy? Well, it might not make sense, even if you want to present yourself as your actual name. Your domain name for your website might be simpler, different in some way, because you want it to be easy to say, easy to remember, easy to spell.
Sure.
Right.
Yep.
There
That's
you
a
go.
good point. Good point. Now, let's just look at this. Here's an interesting thing. When you have a stage name, legal documents and travel documents like contracts, they'll have to be under your legal name, though. Otherwise, they're just not valid. If you change your name, in Canada at least, you can call yourself whatever you want. Probably not Queen Victoria, but you can call yourself whatever you want, provided you use it on everything. But if you're doing a contract, it should be under your legal name, and it should say on it, also known as, Dave Dignity,
Exactly.
whatever.
In other words, don't make your stage name like it's a secret, right? Make it clear to people
Yeah.
that you're doing business with. My legal name is this, my stage name is that. So when you're paying me, the check has to be made out to my legal name or my company name if it's
Right, and
corporation.
especially not just legal documents, but travel documents.
Exactly.
If you're booked into a hotel,
Airline
and they
tickets.
book you under the wrong name, and you go to check in, and your ID does not match
I
what you're
don't
booked at.
see you,
Airline
Mr.
tickets,
Thompson.
perfect example, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if people are buying stuff for you, booking reservations, they need to know this stuff. So it shouldn't be some secret.
And good
It's
agents will manage this.
Think it's just marketing, guys.
Just marketing.
Right.
Let's look at the psychological and marketing perspectives of this. Easier to pronounce names, build trust and credibility.
Yeah, we
As you
mentioned
said, the
that.
Cialdini thing.
Persuasion, great book.
Alliteration can work well with a stage name. So I said, Dave Dick.
Dave Dick, maybe you'd use the stage name.
Maybe not that one.
Yeah.
But alliteration works
Well,
well.
natural
Things
ones.
that are easy.
Mike Mandel,
Well, yeah.
Paul Pacific.
Yeah, the astonishing Andrew Anderson. I mean,
There you
that's
go.
a pretty good stage name. I made it up. Hypnotic Harry Hewson.
Sure.
There's stuff you can do there.
Harry
that'll
Hewson,
work.
that would sound very nice. I like that.
Now, some people change their stage names frequently. Wrestlers do this to create different characters. So you got a guy and he's one name one time, or and he's fighting in a different time place before WWE came out and sort of put everything together. People would change identities depending on the market they were in. There'd be a good guy, then there'd be a bad guy somewhere else. You can't really do that if you're doing hypnosis. So you should be fairly consistent. There's one noted hypnotist who, and I won't glorify him by even mentioning his name, but he's used about 4 different stage names. They change regularly. And I can only presume he's doing this to protect himself legally for something.
Yeah, or perhaps he had a bad show and we're not going to hire Dave Dick anymore, so I'm going to call myself something else.
Maybe Donald Dick or something. Or
There
Donald
you
Duck.
go.
Yeah, so it's up to you. If you're choosing a stage name, make sure it's one you're going to like further down the road.
Yeah.
So play around with it. Find something with alliteration.
Changing your stage name to me sounds like declaring brand bankruptcy. There's alliteration and starting over.
Brand
right?
bankruptcy,
All right.
starting all over again.
So I think that's probably enough for
well
this
sums
video.
it up. It's
All
up
right.
to you. It's up to you.
Think of your stage name as marketing and use one if you need one. You want it to be easy to say, easy to remember, easy to spell, and that's about it.
And easy to put on a legal document.
All right, check out MikeMandelHypnosis.com. You can get started in the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy for free. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks again, and good
Be
night.
seeing you.